Okay, I am flabbergasted. I can't believe this episode actually is real. Okay, so like last week, if you watched my video last week, how I mentioned like, oh, I'm getting kind of bored and I'm tired and my reviews are getting shorter. Strap in! This is what you're looking for if you wanted something a bit longer, because this is gonna be a long one. Oh my god. I don't even know where to begin with this. I wrote notes, because I was 100% planning on not actually like having to rewatch the episode again. I was planning on doing what I did last time because I liked how quickly and easily that was. So I started writing notes, and as I was writing notes, it just got worse and worse. Oh my god, here we go. Okay. So this episode is absolute trash. It is garbage. I've never seen a show be this ugly and lazy. 90% of the episode is reused animation, which I'm fine with, on one hand. I understand you need to cut corners wherever you can, save your budget however you can, and reused animation is, a classic way in anime to do so. But they reuse all of the ugliest animation, and then the other half the time, the animation that isn't reused is just fucking ugly as hell. Alright, so first things off, we're going back in time to re-explain what Blake's plan is, whatever, that's fine, I don't really care about that. This plot point is dumb, I'm gonna say. It's a shame because I feel like this whole plot point of, oh, Blake, you get nightmared too, that's actually cool. That's intriguing, but this is something that should have happened at like the halfway point of the story. The third to last episode is not the time to introduce a big, cool, creative concept. If we wasted so much of our time twiddling our dicks doing the same thing over and over and over again for most of this fucking season, we could have had this plot point of, hey, something's actually progressing. This could have happened, like, at the halfway point, and that would have been much more interesting. Rather than seeing Weiss do the same exact boring thing over and over and over again, we could have had the dueling fates of the different sides of this actual race war concept. That would have been interesting. But no, instead just Blake flies in at the very end to steal Weiss's plot, and their reasoning about it is so dumb. She's like, Jean gets to move around freely. That's something she says. And no, first of all, we have seen him under attack or being chased 10 times more than we've seen him walking around freely. Like, it has done nothing to actually help him in any scenario. And on top, even if he was, that has yet to be the issue either of the girls have. We need to walk around freely to get past Weiss. You've done so, like, 3 times now. This excuse to justify them nightmarifying Blake is really dumb. And also, the more you think about it, the more it's like, this is a stupid idea. Oh, I'm having a really hard time with this boss. You know what'll help me beat it? What if I make a double boss? That'll be great. We can't figure out how to save Weiss, so what if we fuck over Blake too? That's perfect. But I think what really gets my gears about this whole plot point is it just grinds everything to a halt. Everything was kicking off, there's fights. They weren't animated well, but there was fights. What a big cool cliffhanger. Let's painfully grind to a halt to watch Blake and Yang slowly say their idea, and then slowly justify their idea, and then slowly tell Shion their idea, then slowly watch Shion justify. It's so stupid. It takes literally like 10 minutes of this 23-minute long episode. 10 minutes of it is Blake and Yang deciding to infect Blake with this nightmare. If this is gonna be such a big to-do, it should have been at the halfway point. Right here, right after such a big cliffhanger from last time, and also at the finale, I don't want to stop to just watch characters standing around and talking. On that note, I am fucking sick of cutting away to look at Shion and the others standing around watching the kids sleep. We've doing this every fucking episode. I know. They're there. You can show me that same old shot of Shion's hourglass slowly emptying with the like flower petals. That doesn't make it actually like dire. It's just time wasters. You're just using things to waste time and save budget, because it's really easy and really cheap to animate characters standing still. And if you can just sit there and look at, oh look, there's Juniper standing still. Yeah, really cheap and easy, but it's not very fun to fucking watch. There's only 2 things in this episode that are actually good, that I actually liked. One, Ren and Nora are really cute. That's it. What a surprise. The two best characters continue to be the two best characters. I thought the moment where they're like, I would go and get infected with a nightmare if it had to mean I'd save you. And they're like, I would do the same for you too. That was cute. That's it. But that's the bar we're working with. Seeing the characters actually interact. And it's not just this honestly feels like Ruby proper. It feels like I'm dropped right back in the middle of Volume 5. Just this whole mess of ugly animation, dumb plot points, and standing around doing nothing but expositing is a page right out of Volume 5. And it's so disappointing. Because Ice Queendom started really good. It started super good. I was so intrigued and interested, and it is an interesting concept. And here we are, episode 10, and I'm just seething. It's so fucking amateurish. It's pathetic. It is a terrible, terrible episode, and it is just highlighting aspects that I have found terrible about this story all the way up until this point. It's laughable. It's amateurish. I can't believe this is made by professionals. Another thing is I'm confused. So they justify Blake's design looking like Adam. It's still disappointing because if we're gonna see White Fang Blake, I would have preferred to see her own designed mask at the very least, because everyone in the White Fang has their own design on their mask. Like Ilya's is different from Adam's, it's different from the Lieutenant's, and I would have liked to see what Blake's actually would have looked like, but oh well, that's too much fucking effort and animation for Ruby Ice Queendom to give a shit about. But I'm confused, is your nightmare supposed to turn you into your worst version of yourself, or what you're afraid of becoming? Because for Weiss, it seems like the worst version of herself, but for Blake, it seems like what she's afraid of becoming. And for Jean, you could interpret it either way, because of how little we actually got to see. I don't know. It's so fucking, it's contrived. It's just contrived. And the thing is, you know what really kills me? This was a concept I actually really, really, really liked. There's fan art, a fan edit. I don't remember, I'll have the name, I'll credit them in the description, and their name is gonna be on screen. It's this picture. It's like a White Fang Blake and Bandit Yang. And that idea is so cool to me. This is my favorite, like, AU concept for Ruby ever. And it's the idea of what if these girls went down the other path in life that they didn't. And they were these, not necessarily evil people, but different people. How would the story be so radically different? That's so cool to me. And Ice Queendom literally looks like that idea come to life. Especially, like, and because I was sitting there like, well, this is Blake and Yang in this picture, what would Ruby and Weiss be? And ultimately I decided Ruby would still be a huntress, but maybe not a totally, like, pure one? I don't know. But the idea was, it's easy. Weiss would be, like, an Atlesian upper crust person, you know? And this is what Ice Queendom seems like it was supposed to be. And it's so interesting, but it's also so basic. Ice Queendom goes with the laziest, like, first draft idea for all of these. Oh, what if Blake had been in the White Fang? What if she stayed with the White Fang? Oh, rather than explore this actually interesting topic about how her complex emotions about humanity, equality, and everything would bounce off of the ideals of other White Fang members, she's just gonna be Adam again. Just Femme Adam. Femi Adam. That's what we're gonna do with her. Her entire, like, purple concepts is gonna be discarded so she can be Adam. An Adam clone. Fucking lazy. So boring. And yeah, Upper Crust Weiss is just Weiss, but she really cares about what Daddy Warbucks has to say to her, you know? It's so boring. That's the thing that's killing me. It's so intriguing. It's all intriguing, and every time they introduce something that's like, whoa, this should be really cool, they fucking go the most easiest, laziest route with it. Anyways, the second thing that's actually good with this episode is Blake's whole Adam possession, I guess is what we'll call it, her Adamifying. It's beautifully animated, which is great, because this is the only actually good animation we're gonna see. And yeah, you can sit here and say Shion infecting Blake with the nightmare was pretty good animation too, but it's not hard to CG a little, like, scribble effect floating around the room and stabbing itself into a girl's arm, okay? Like, I'm not gonna give you praise for doing the bare minimum, but whatever. Blake becoming a White Fang Adam person, it's fine. It looks good. that's where the budget went, and now it's literally all downhill. Because remember, I said I wrote notes, because my next note, it says, finally, the animation is good. And then the note immediately after that is, never mind, Yang's running looks fucking stupid. And I know I do a lot of, I do screenshots for these reviews, but this review is gonna have a lot of, I can only explain this shit by showing you what the actual animation looks like, because still images can't do it. So, if you watch my, my second episode review, for Ice Queendom, one of the ending gags I had, it's that screenshot of Blake when she's fighting the Nevermore, and it's an admittedly goofy looking screenshot, because what I do is I just sit here and I hit the screenshot button a million times, and then I scroll through my screenshots to see which ones actually look good to use for my reviews. And of course, if you're gonna be screenshotting constantly in the middle of fight scenes, you're gonna get some goofy looking, squash and stretch on the characters. That's totally normal and an absolutely vital part of the animation techniques. But that's not what's happening here, because a single screenshot that's on the screen for a nanosecond is nothing compared to the entire animation being lazy, or bad, or just wonky. The frame rate is weird, and there's so many examples of that in this episode that a screenshot won't justify it. I have to show you the animation. This run with Yang. And you can sit here and make the argument, oh, it's just, this is the ending shot, it's doing what it needs to. And you're right, it is. In the grand scheme of things, despite being very ugly, it's doing what it needs to. It just looks wonky. It only goes downhill from here. We'll get into some real shit with the animation. Hey, it's me, I'm diving in real quick just to remind you that I do still have merch options. I have new stuff, I got all the old classics, I got lots of cool things. If you want to check it out and help give me some support, that'd be really cool. I think they all look great. If you want to help show me some support, but none of these clothes are really up to your style, consider giving a super donation, a super chat. Just that little heart with a $sign in it down there, right next to the like button. If you do that, and you leave a comment, I will highlight your comment in my next video. Anyway, back to what I was saying. Go! Oh, by the way, it takes 13 minutes, literally, the halfway point of the episode, maybe a little past halfway because of the credits. 13 minutes to finally get back to the cliffhanger from last time. Wow, that's definitely not trash. Oh, and of course, it's more reused animation. If we're gonna have this big cliffhanger, reuse all that animation from that cliffhanger. No one's gonna care. We're already reused most of the animation anyways. Okay, so, alright, let's get into it now, because this is when it really starts happening. At around 13 minutes and 45 seconds, this is where my notes that I wrote for the episode start to just realize, oh my god, what the fuck is actually happening? So, okay, alright. So Blake dives in, and it's like, whoa, we're actually gonna fucking fight finally. It's actually happening. And Blake is actively slashing her sword against Weiss's. So you know they're standing directly next to each other, on top of being in the middle of not only right next to the manor and the big Nicholas statue and the train, but also all of the White Fang and her paladins fighting each other. So it's a big, convoluted fight scene right now. And Blake is slashing against Weiss's sword, and literally the next shot, Weiss is alone in a gigantic, empty landscape. And she's an ugly CG model, and she ugly CG models her ass up onto a glyph and flips over nothing. How? Literally how? Blake was standing right next to her. Even forgiving the fact that she's supposed to be standing in the middle of, her manor near a city with a train and fighting all around her. Ignoring all that shit. How do you not even have Blake in the shot? She was literally right next to Weiss. Did she do a super ninja jump and scuttle her ass fucking away within a nanosecond between the different shots? What? And this is the beginning of what I realized was how down the fucking quality level is for this episode. Because you can have, forgivable things, and people are like, it's a thing they do. There's probably gonna be, a Blu-ray version that dresses this up so it actually looks good. Fuck you. That is an actively terrible way of going about any sort of business, and that doesn't make this justifiable, okay? If you hand me shit, I am paying to watch this fucking show. That is the only way people can legally watch this show. They have to fucking give money to a company who has paid another company to animate this fucking garbage, and I am paying them to see this. Why would I pay them to see shit on my screen just to have to pay again later so they can be like, well, I know it was shit before, but here we made it look actually decent now. Now it's actually worth fucking something. So give us more money to see that version. That's just, give us money so you can see our shit ass, not even good, like, animatic version, and then you can pay us more money later so you can see what it was supposed to actually look like. Please, we'll justify it. Please, it's gonna be really good next time. Fuck off. Shut the fuck up, you stupid ass piece of shit. Fuck you. That is fucking vile. That is not how, I don't know, oh, but the animation industry it's different. It works different than, fuck, that doesn't, stop justifying these things. God, you fucking anime clowns will come to my comment section and be like, but in the anime world, it works this way. Fuck off. Stop fucking letting them get away with this shit. Cowboy Bebop did not release its episodes and they looked like actual dog turds on your screen. No. They made an actual quality product. Season 1, Madoka Magica. I haven't seen the second season of Magia Record yet, and I hear it has issues similar to this, so you know what? Don't support it! If this is gonna be the standards, anime world, we all know, is fucked right now. They overwork their employees, and they have to continually do shit like this, where they shove out things at the last second, and it looks like dog turds, and then they go back and fix it and try to make money that way. Rather than continually trying to justify this fucking behavior, try putting them on higher standards. Oh, but that means I might get less animes next year. Fucking suck it up, dickhead. Suck it up so we can get quality products and the workers can get better living, like, situations and actual pay for their efforts. Because the more you pay for things like this and try to justify shit-ass animation like this and mistakes like this, the more you're just telling them they can get away with it. Hold yourself to higher standards. Back on topic with this fucking shit show. I hate what they do with Blake here. Because, what is Nightmare supposed to be? Oh, she's just, oh, I'm giddily happy to be Adam now. Girl variant Adam. Dumb. Why would it not play into what Blake actually thinks? Because I know Blake doesn't actually think this way. Is this what she's afraid of becoming? She knows she isn't this. She talked about it before. Why would the nightmare have such a strong effect on her? Why would it completely alter her personality? See, with Nightmare Weiss, I can see aspects of her real personality in there. This is a facade. Is this a facade from Blake too? It just seems lazy and dumb and stupid. Oh, what's really great is, I love the moment afterwards. It's top 10 best anime moments ever. It's when Blake and Weiss are like, ha 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 ha, we're both evil and we're gonna attack, and they finally start to actually move, and the animators decided to show you a panning shot of the city with the fighting noises in the background. So you know they're fighting. You know, that's the thing they teased. They promised you, but you don't get to actually see it. 10 out of 10. Also, it's a fucking mistake in the animation, because the city is supposed to be overrun by the vines by now, but that's too much effort to bother remembering the quality of our own animes. I tweeted about this. I can't, because I could not believe how fucking bad this is, and I got some comments, and if you like this episode, great. I'm sorry I'm hating it so much, but, you know, what are you gonna do? Opinions exist. And I saw the comments being like, I thought it was good. I honestly can't see how you thought this was good. Honestly. This is, like, the worst RWBY has ever been. And that's saying something. Worse than Volume 8. Worse than Volume 5. Worse than anything RWBY proper has ever had. Ice Queendom is worse. You know, after showing the panning shot of the city with nothing happening, give us another, like, 10 seconds of them ugly fighting each other, just to go back to the grunts reusing their same animation. This is all reused animation. The White Fangs shooting their bullets is reused from the train, and the Paladins moving is reused from the Baby Weiss army fight. It's all reused, and it only gets worse from here. This fucking blew me away. I have to show this to you. Listen, okay, just watch. What the hell was that? Hard cut to silence? You're not even gonna have the music trail off? Like, that is, what? What do I say to that? How do, it's not, I don't even know how I can explain how fucking pathetic that is. How laughable. How bad. That's just bad. That is like, you have to be an idiot in order to make something that kind of a mistake. Just at least having the music trail off. But no, hard cut to Ruby's ugly hand I literally have no words. Like, yeah, we can't fix the animation problems. They're fucking running their employees dry, push this out at the last second. But we couldn't have at least the music peter out? Are you shitting my dick off? Oh, Yang is here. Remember this moment. Yang is here. So this moment of the shot. Okay, so he sticks his head out and looks around. Slowly. There's no music anymore, by the way. Once it hard cut away from Ruby, there is no music. It's like they forgot to add the music track in some effort. So he looks around, and then he's amazed that the Jacques statue is in front of him. You were just looking around. The Jacques statue is like 12 feet tall. How did you not? It's not a sneaky statue. It's not like it jumped over the train or something. It's just in front of you, but you didn't see it. And then they scream, but you can see everyone's standing in like casual positions, like hands at sides, and they're like, ah! And it's like, you're not. And then Yang drives past it to get to. Okay. Thanks, Yang. Thanks for just fucking over everyone else to get over to Ruby. And then as she's driving past, she does this thing. I can't explain how ugly this is. It's so, you can tell the animation stopped and they didn't actually, because they reused this shot again later, and they cut it at that point, but they wanted the shot to last a little bit longer, so rather than, I don't know, do anything, cut to anything else, they just repeat Yang's like last 3 frames like on repeat, and it's awful looking, it's lazy looking, it doesn't look right. Like, that's not how motorcycles work. That's not how animation is supposed to work. It's just these lazy, half-ass attempts to skirt around animating anything. And then we cut over to, like, the big Nicholas statue. This is just reused from, like, 2 episodes ago, you know? I remember when I said I hoped we could see the big Nicholas statue more, because it's really cool. Yeah, I also kind of hoped, like, I don't know, it wasn't just reused animation, but at least this is the one instance of them using reused animation that actually looks good, because what we see for most of it is just, like, the lazy shit gets reused. You know what's great storytelling? You know what's great for a story? Having the giant statue actively attacking Yang, and even though she's under duress and they're all having to rush to get together so Ruby can rush to get onto the motorcycle, have the giant statue arbitrarily suddenly stop doing anything so Yang and Ruby can slowly have a conversation with each other. Do you see why I say this reminds me of Volume 5? And then this, oh my god, these next few shots, I don't know how this got past fucking quality control. They reused the animation again of the big Nicholas statue, but they needed it to last a few seconds longer, apparently. So what they do is they slow it down, but when you slow down animation that isn't intended to look like slow motion, you just see the frames on screen longer, and it looks ugly. And you think that'd be the worst part about this shot, is the, like, bad slowing down, out of focus fist. But no, this is actually the best part of it, because next we see it's the sounds of her motorcycle doing something. And then we just pan up the statue as we're listening to the sounds of motorcycles doing something. And we don't get to see what she did. How did she avoid this punch? We don't know. Did she do anything special? Did the statue do anything special? I don't know. We just get like this excruciating long shot of panning up the big Nicholas statue with noises in the background. And then that's that shot that I said, remember this, Yang is here. It's the same exact thing. That's the same exact thing from animation that we saw 2 minutes ago. They're reusing animation from 2 minutes ago. And this isn't the only time they do this in this episode. Reuse the same shot minutes after introducing this shot. And do they think we won't notice? Do they think we won't care? And the worst thing, like, Yang is in slow motion, but Ruby isn't. Ruby, like, zips past her because she's supposed to be on the back of the motorcycle, but they can't bother animating that, so she's just suddenly a blob flying through the air, but she's not in the same frame rate as Yang, because this Ruby thing is also reused animation. Like, when I watched this, and the first time I watched it, I literally went back 7 times to rewatch it, to be like, did I actually see what I just see? Did I have an aneurysm in the middle of that? Did I have a stroke and I thought I saw something differently? No, you got all that right. It's all exactly like that. They ugly get onto Yang's motorcycle. Yang's motorcycle goes. A fist comes in bad slow motion, and then we cut away from anything to show a shot from 2 minutes ago that's in slow motion, but Ruby isn't in slow motion. Oh my god. Where's the budget? Did you guys actually shit your entire budget on the first 3 episodes? You know, the ones where you could lie to your audience? All of the trailers only showed anything from those first 3 episodes. And it's fucking abysmal. Oh, look at this good show that has really beautiful Sakuga. Wow, I would watch that. Never mind knowing that down the road when you get to episode 10, it's gonna look like garbage. It just lied to you. Everything about the trailers and everything, the opening, it lies to you. It lies to you about what the show is. It implies it's gonna be like a retelling of Volume 1, but it's not. It's this bad AU fanfiction where everyone was the laziest ideas possible, and it doesn't look anything like the animation from the first 3 episodes. The animation just goes downhill more and more and more. Where'd the budget go? What happened? Oh, remember this shot of Yang? First of all, this is ugly. Her face looks fucking ugly. This is just an ugly shot. Remember this, because they're gonna reuse this animation in like a minute. So, you know, we have no more budget, but we still insist on having Whitley fly in and call Ruby a dummy and grab the relic, so we can linger on Ruby's face for like 17 frames too long. I didn't edit this. This is actually how long it stays on the screen. It's just so we can see her shittily shoot Whitley once, and then some of the ugliest fucking animation ever as she runs over and grabs the relic. Wow, yeah, that was great. That was definitely worth the animation effort and time. And Ruby's like, is that how you wanted me to use it, Weiss? And I think that she's talking about Crescent Rose. Surely, she didn't do anything differently from what I can tell. Is this supposed to be the finale of Weiss telling her, no, it's not backwards for no reason, there's a reason your scythe gun is backwards? Is this the finale? Are we gonna expand on this idea further? Because I fucking doubt it, honestly, at this fucking point. We cut back to Jean and the fucking gang, and Jean's animation is reused from the first time he encountered Nega Weiss. And then the Baby Weiss army is reused from their first appearance. And these are the shots that's like, why did you this animation isn't even good. Like, they're not ass ugly like how Ruby was, or like how Yang's face is, but they're not great. They're not supplementing this fight. I don't understand. They're not good shots. Why did what? If you're gonna reuse some animation, reuse the good-looking animation. Pick the good animation to reuse, or better yet, if you're sitting here going, oh, I don't think we have the budget to have an army of Baby Weisses, Jean, and Pyrrha fighting a giant Jacques statue, maybe cut that shit out of the fucking episode. I don't know, none of these characters needed to be here. We did not need to drag this entire fucking platoon of Weiss babies and Jean with Pyrrha into the finale. They were entirely supplemental. They've added very little in the long run. They're just a constant thing to be here to waste the animators' time and my time watching this shit. I wanted to see Weiss fighting Blake, not Jean be a failure. I wanted to see Ruby versus Whitley, not the Baby Weiss army runs around and is cute. I wanted to see, if we're gonna show Yang fighting the big Nicholas statue, I'd rather see that than be stuck watching this garbage that's on repeat. Oh, that shot of Yang I told you was gonna come back, there it is. They just flipped it. That makes it better, right? Then it's not reused laziness. They flipped it. Totally different. Oh boy, 17 minutes and 30 seconds and we're finally getting back to Weiss versus Blake. That's what I wanted. When you teased this cliffhanger at the end of last time, I wanted to wait for 90% of the episode to be over before we finally get to actually see something. And you know what we see? They slap their swords together a little bit, and then they do the Ruby classic where they stop fighting to stand around and talk to each other. You know what's even better than watching the characters slap their swords around and say things that really don't mean anything in the long run? Cutting away from all that. To go back to Shion. Yeah, back to the person standing around just watching people sleeping. That's what I wanted. To see, ew, Blake's arm is getting bad. Yeah, because this idea was fucking stupid and we all should have known this. And it's like, wow, infecting the kid with the nightmare that they can't even beat? was a lot harder than I expected it would be. What are you? Oh my god. And it's not even like, it's not, Shion isn't even saying anything new. Shion is literally just reiterating the, like, shit they said in the first 10 minutes. You know, when we spent forever standing around in the White Fang Mansion place with Blake and Yang while they sat there and went, what are we supposed to do? I think getting infected by a nightmare is a totally cool idea. And they're like, this is the problems you might face if this happens, because this is a dangerous idea. And now here we are, and Shion is literally just repeating all that shit. I know. It's been 10 minutes of standing around talking, 7 minutes of ugly or reused animation, and now it's back to standing around talking. Stellar. 10 out of 10. So we cut to Ruby and she goes past these vines. First of all, the vines look awful. They're just green lumps now, whatever. Who even gives a shit anymore? But Ruby walks into the room and I don't know. How does this happen? Did they fuck up? Is this meant to be playing in reverse? And they just, okay, so she gets like bigger and then they repeat the animation? Was this the intern's first time attempting to animate something? Because I make these mistakes all the time. Look at this animation. Like, you can see, like, her proportions shift and change because I am an amateur who hasn't animated anything. Like, this is like a first attempt at a walk cycle. For a first attempt drawing a potato-looking character, I think it's decent, but I would expect a professional company to have slightly better standards than me, an amateur attempting animation for the first time. If you couldn't figure out how to fucking animate this, why didn't you use a CG model? This is the type of shots that you would use the CG models for. You know? Like, oh, we don't have the time, just slap in the CG model and put on a generic walk cycle animation, rather than this. Is this not your favorite fucking part of the show? When the characters just either slap their swords together to give you the illusion that we gave a fuck about this animation, but we don't. Slap your swords together and carry on full conversations, but actually not saying anything. They'll spout platitudes about vague ideals, but they're not really saying anything. You know what's even better than slapping your swords together to talk? Pushing your swords away to stand at a distance and point your swords at each other to talk. Ooh, wow. That's blowing your loads on the animation for this one, guys, huh? Remember what I said about how it's really cheap and easy to animate someone standing still? Yeah. See? Another example of that. Hey, you know what would be a really cool idea? What if we ended this episode teasing Weiss fighting Blake? What do you mean we did that in the last episode? Well, we didn't do it in this episode, so let's tease Weiss fighting Blake again. That's great. Yeah, 10 out of 10. Real genius maneuver here. And then we see Ruby walk in, and she fights the nightmare, and it's fine anime. Compared to the garbage pile of animation we just watched, yeah, this animation is fine. But it's not good, and it's short, and also, it's another big, stupid, dumbass fucking cliffhanger. Wow, great, Ice Queendom. 10 out of 10, great. Literally fucking great. My god. Do you think they're gonna be enticed to come back next week if we tease actually doing our job next week? At this point, no. And here's the thing. They could deliver the most amazing episode on the fucking planet next week. They could deliver the best thing in the world. Literally, it'll change my mind, make me break down in tears with how beautiful and thought-provoking and amazing of an episode it is. They could deliver that. But this is still shit. This still makes this show shit. You can't hand me a literal pile of dog shit and then hand me a cake the next week and go, but this cake is good. Yeah, but you still fucking handed me dog shit. You still had me pay a subscription service to watch this. This is the quality you think is worth a fucking subscription membership. This is it? This is what I'm paying you fucking for? Are you fucking kidding me? I don't know what I can even say anymore. It's just so bad. It's so low quality. It's trash. It's all trash. It's half-assed and lazy. And I don't even know what to say. I can sit here and go, I hope it's better next week. Yeah, but I'm not expecting it. And I had a comment on something and it was like, why watch the show if you're not enjoying it? I was. That's the real fucking kicker. I was really enjoying Ice Queendom. You know, if you watch my podcast with Cal, we're on the edge of our seats. We're so jazzed and excited. It's so interesting. It's intriguing. And they've just completely lost my faith in this entire series. I didn't think the illustrious Ruby anime, the thing we all sat here and waited for, we dreamed about. When we first saw those first teaser images of Ice Queendom, like a year or two ago, when they were getting ready for it, and everyone was sitting there going, maybe it's gonna be like a real anime. And I was like, they would never do something that high quality. They would never. This is a dream, a fantasy. We could never get something like that. Well, I guess we were right. Right until the very end. Blow your budget on the first 3 episodes, so you could put that in the trailers to trick people into watching your fucking show. And then right at the end, just, we ran out of budget. Time and money, it's gone. Oopsie. It's fucking unforgivable. I'm blown away at how fucking bad this is. I can handle a boring show. I've seen plenty of boring shows, and hell, I've even liked a few boring shows. You sit there and go, it was pretty boring, but in the end, it wasn't terrible, you know? I could have fun with something like that, but I would rather they just stood around and not talked this whole fucking episode. I would rather we just literally showed me an PNG on the screen that said, we ran out of money, rather than insulting me with this low quality garbage. This show was not meant to be 12 episodes, and you can fucking feel it. They've stretched everything out endlessly. Jean and the Baby Weiss Army and Pyrrha are entirely superfluous. They don't deserve to be here. None of the schnees talk to each other, and it is fucking pathetic. If the entire point of the show is to explore Weiss and her bad home life with her mother, father, sister, and brother, you think in her nightmare her mother, father, sister, and brother would actually be anything, but they're not. They're half-assed ideas. Jacques has become literally nothing more than exactly like her Armageigas summon. It's just there to fight. He doesn't say anything. He doesn't do anything. He doesn't interact with her. He's just there to be a thing to fight, to bother the B character nobodies in the background. Her mother's just a laughing shadow. Her brother's a bat who doesn't get to, even the one who finally gets to talk, her brother, he doesn't get to do anything. He just, I know better than you. Great. 10 out of 10 character. Really great interactions we're having here. And then her sister, the only one that she looks up to and respects and loves, is a book. You know, a book. That's Winter. Great. So when Ice Queendom was first coming out, I sat there and went, I can't wait to make more videos. I'm so excited. I'm gonna dissect all the thoughts and the meanings behind all these things in her dream, because I expected there to be more. But no, it's all surface level. It's all the most surface level bullshit and really lazy. Oh, we have Klein. All 7 of his personalities could be something different. You have 3 of them are doors. 3 of Klein's personalities are doors. If that doesn't tell you the extent of their creativity with this series, I don't know what will. This episode was abysmal. I have lost complete faith. I think Ice Queendom is now infinitely worse than anything Ruby proper has ever done. It's worse than it's worse than Ruby Chibi. Ruby Chibi is one of those things where it's like, I think it's boring, but it's passable. I can understand why others would enjoy this. I can't fathom who would watch this show with this quality and honestly say that they still enjoy it. Like, ignoring the animation quality. The animation is complete dog shit, and we can all agree to that. The story wasn't even good. What happened in this episode? Blake and Yang fiddled around and talked, and then they repeated everything they said to Shion, and then Shion later repeated everything they said again. Okay, but what did they talk about? Nothing. They just theorizing maybe if I'm evil, Weiss won't be. It's a dumb idea, and it brings only really cringe, bad, talking points between Blake and Weiss. Where Blake is like, you humans are all evil, and you hate the Faunus, and now suddenly Weiss is like, no I don't. That's not true. I don't feel that way. And it's like, I thought the entire idea was we were gonna get past Weiss without being seen. Ruby has fucking waltzed her ass right back in front of the nightmare again. Infecting Blake has been entirely superfluous and dumb, and if you were gonna do something like this, it would have been more intriguing to have this be a story in tandem. Have this happen sooner than the 3rd to last episode. And then nothing else story-wise. It's just nothing. Nothing that was teased last time came to fruition. Everything that's teased for next time is just an expansion of what was already being teased to us. I can't believe there's 2 weeks left. How can we drag this crap out longer? And even, there's gonna be a fight? What fight? That's what I'm gonna be looking forward to? There's going to be some fights next episode? Is it gonna be like this? Are the fights gonna look like this? If that's the case, I don't really want to fucking watch it. I'm blown away. I can't imagine how it could be worse than this episode. It's lazy, it's dumb, it should have been a movie. If they didn't have the fucking time and budget to actually make anything worthwhile, they should have just made it a movie, or an OVA, or something. I don't know. I don't give a shit about Ice Queendom anymore. Why would I? After this? What if there's a second season? I might not watch it. Honestly. It's not good. This is not a good show. I would much rather go back and rewatch anything from RWBY. Any fucking season from RWBY. Volume 5, my least favorite volume. It's better than this. I don't know what else to tell you. I hope you wanted a long one. Here's your podcast of an episode I made for you. I hope you want to listen to me be sick and ranting.
Suck a motherfucking dick. Suck a dick, suck a huge or small dick. Everybody gets tired, but specifically today I'm just tired of you. Fuck.
Shout out to my $10 patrons. You're all amazing. You make it worth it. You make it worth it. Nako, James Dodds, Cool Duck, Andrew, Ramiel, Valhalla Knight, Chamomile, Classy Critic, Noah Perkins, Sunny Shy, Azoth, Great Bar, Pentamenta, Jake, Amber, Hype Man, Zero to Hero, Keithan, Isaiah, Joseph, Scaring Crows, Danny Boy, Mary, Messiah Complex, Jacob, Renji, and Virus O. So, did you like the episode? I know people liked the episode. Please explain to me why. How you can forgive these things. And, thoughts and opinions about anything I said, or anything about the episode, Ice Queendom in general, let me know. Let me know your thoughts and opinions. I'll see you in the next one. God, it's gotta get better than this, right? Right? It can't get worse than this, right? Bye-bye.